And just click. Yep. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Plotlines. I'm your host, Connor, and live today in person is Jason.
Hey, how you doing, Connor?
Half of the trad men.
Yeah, half in size and person.
Mark's much bigger.
He's much bigger.
Well, I wouldn't know. I haven't met him.
Wow.
This is the second reunion or meetings of the traditional transmissions.
I'm trying to determine if we should shame Mark on air the whole time for not coming or
To be
what.
honest, I think we should. Like, why shouldn't we? If you can give me a reason why we shouldn't shame.
Well, it'll go back to what I said. He's bigger than us, so
Yeah, but well, I might be afraid for you. He won't be me.
yeah, you'll be in Illinois.
That I think there's other reasons too. But yeah, no, I'll be in Illinois and he'll be angry in Texas.
Yeah, Angry in Texas. That sounds like a movie.
Is it? Has there been an Angry in Texas movie? I don't think so. But so yeah, we're at the Blessed Charles Symposium, actually at the event center right now. We haven't seen any famous people, other than Trevor walk by.
Yeah, Trevor's pretty famous.
He's kind of famous. Is he
Yeah.
really famous, or is he sort of famous?
Yeah, he's famous.
He's
within
Twitter
our
famous.
circle. Yeah.
No, but like he's Twitter famous. It's not like people like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think people come up behind him and jump out at him kind of thing. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's famous, but you got here late yesterday.
I got here late. I got here. Well, actually, we arrived in Dallas right at 7:30.
Okay, and then
I'm sorry, I was looking at the.
I know I was looking at the
Oh,
delay too. It made me laugh. But yeah, no, you were missed yesterday
Yeah, why
at
don't-
cigars.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you tell us about how cigars went last night?
No, I think we need to hold that for
Okay.
my show with Anthony. I think
Okay.
I think my recap show with Anthony it's necessary for that to yeah. But yeah, so well, let's talk about Protestants becoming traditional Catholics.
Okay,
And so basically you.
I don't have much experience in it. Yeah, so what, so how do you wanna,
Well, let's start. So you said Mary wasn't one of your big hiccups, or did you say that? Thought you said
well,
that previously.
it's a yes and no. She was in some aspects, but not in others. So I was distracted by
Anthony thinks
beer
you're
coming up.
Anthony thinks you're nervous.
Anthony thinks I'm nervous?
Yes, Anthony thinks you're nervous.
Yes, I am nervous.
You're also far away. I don't know how. Do you want to lean over?
Oh, it's all right. No, but speaking about the Blessed Virgin, actually when I went to RCIA, the very first class that they did was actually on Mary and dogmas. And one of the big hiccups for a lot of people in the class was the title Mother of God. And that was one that I never struggled with, because I'm like, if Jesus is God, she's his mother. It just makes logical sense to me, right? It's not saying that she's the mother of the Blessed Trinity, but she is the mother of God. And of course that dogma later on became very important, and I understood it even better why it was such an important teaching in defending the divinity of Jesus.
You keep talking. I'm gonna check.
Okay. And but the other aspects that I struggled with, I didn't necessarily struggle with all of them, but I remember reading Tim Staples' Behold Thy Mother on an airplane going to California. And it was at that point where everything just kind of clicked for me, and I didn't have any issues with anything else.
Yeah. Continue. Keep talking.
Well, that was the end of the married one.
We'll talk more.
There you go. But yeah, no, I was just, like I said, I was on the plane, and Tim Staples' book, Behold Thy Mother, was very good. Um, and really eye-opening. And that's actually the book I recommend to a lot of people when it comes to learning about the Blessed Virgin. I mean, Brant Petrie has a good book, Scott Hahn has a good book, but in my opinion, Tim Staples did the best. Um, but yeah, no, and then since then, I've actually felt that I have become closer to the Blessed Virgin, or tried to, even to the point where in my first podcast attempt with another friend, he had the idea to start a podcast about everything on the Blessed Virgin called Behold Thy Mother. There's 2 episodes, but.
Wait, you did 2 episodes of it?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Behold Thy Mother, everyone and their mother. My wife over there just corrected me on my own podcast show that I had. Yeah.
With eyes, yes. Can everyone hear us? Just checking. I want to know if the sound's okay. If Anthony, hopefully he's watching, will tell us. Give it. Well,
I don't think Anthony's ever been nervous in his life,
I don't think.
because I can kind of see what he's talking about.
Well, he sent that a while ago.
Yeah, but I'm still going back to it.
You're still hearkening back to.
Yeah, I hold
that
on to
one
things for
comment.
way too long. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Understand. Yeah, gotcha. That's one way to live.
Yeah, it is. It's one way, not a good way.
So, what was your family's reaction when you became Catholic?
The ones that are religious, that actually go to church and all that, they were not happy about it. I wouldn't say that anybody was like angry where they just cut you off, but it was more of a disappointment type deal. Other people in my family that aren't necessarily religious were kind of like a lot of people today. Oh, what does it matter?
Yeah.
You know, it's all the same. So, but I think the people for the most part that we were closest within our family were like very disappointed.
Were friends too that were Protestant?
Yeah, so some of them were disappointed. Some of them I haven't talked to, well, since then, really.
Really?
Yeah, not by my undertaking, but by others. And funny story that happened is when we first so we'd been attending RCIA, and we had reached a point where we were going to just start going to the Catholic Church regularly. That was going to be where we went from now on. When a couple of my wife's friends found out, I was actually headed out of town. And when I drive out of town, I usually leave at night. I think it was like 8 o'clock. She had 4 kids. She was trying to get to bed.
You drive out of town normally at night? Like you start at night?
Yeah, I start everything late.
Like how late?
Well, I've driven to Mississippi leaving at 8 or 9 at night. Like an 8-hour drive. Don't know where I'm going.
Okay, so you're literally just driving in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because back in the day when I traveled a lot, I liked to be at home as much as I could during the day.
Anthony thinks I'm doing all the heavy lifting.
Yes.
I don't know what heavy lifting you're talking about.
I don't know, probably brain power. But no, but so I was going out of town that night, and as I'm literally leaving the house, 2 of her friends come over and they want to talk to her right then and there about it. Like her soul is in jeopardy. If she doesn't figure this out and she dies tonight, she's over.
And this is while you're gone?
I'm trying to walk out the door.
Oh, you're out the door.
Yeah. She was trying to get 4 kids ready for bed, and I'm packing and I'm doing all that, right? To leave.
Packing or packing?
No, packing like clothes. And yeah, so I tried to rush out the door, and of course she was still kind of new, and she didn't she was still kind of trying to filter through everything anyway, so she wasn't in the best mindset to answer questions. But I think she did a good job, because they would never respond. It was just I don't know, what was it, your generic. Yeah, it was basically just deflection when they couldn't answer one question. So you ask them, say they ask you a question about calling a priest father. Well, you answer that. Instead of addressing that, they immediately go, well, why do you worship Mary? And then you answer that and they go, well, why do you do X, Y, and Z? So it really wasn't a conversation. It was more of a accuse and then deflect.
So it's like me saying, what were your family's reactions? And then saying, why do you have a beard?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically.
yeah.
Also, Haley's in the chat. Welcome, Haley. But yeah, so basically, I just think a confrontation is kind of hilarious, like over that, like showing up to do kind of that kind of confrontation.
Well, it is.
A,
but-
that's not, for me, that's like not a Midwest thing. There's like no one would do that, even if someone was on drugs or like or ruining their life.
So Texans are on drugs. Yeah, that's what I got. No, but in a way, it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. But on the flip side, if you truly believe somebody's soul is in jeopardy, you're
Yeah.
going, especially a friend, you're going to try to approach them as quickly as possible, right? Because time isn't guaranteed in life. So in that aspect, I can do it. It was just I can see them coming to do that immediately, but it just was not very good timing. And I don't know since then how much she's talked to one of them. I know one of them, they weren't Facebook friends no more. So if it ain't Facebook official, it's not real.
At this point, I think she should be on the podcast.
Yeah, you want to come on the podcast?
She does not want to come on the podcast. That's very unfortunate. But yeah, okay. And then, what do you think just makes like Protestants move towards traditional Catholicism generally? 'Cause, like, I've seen a lot of even like, or not a lot, but I've seen online like a lot of traditional Lutheran stuff like that, like or Anglo Catholics kind of thing. Like it's interesting that that's sort of a trend amongst certain mainline Protestant groups, because you can't really do that with the evangelicals or the I mean, they have traditional like morals, but they don't have like, I guess the Lutherans and the Anglicans sort of have lost the traditional morals in a lot of ways,
Oh, yeah.
but a lot of them have tried to retain the liturgical side.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to speak to a lot of these groups because
Anthony wants you on.
like talking about Chris, I'm like, I am on
I'm not talking to you.
that Italian,
Yeah, Italian. That doesn't exist because
the
Italian.
EYE.
Italians don't exist in America. Italy doesn't.
Yeah, so Anthony doesn't exist.
Yeah, I guess his whole understanding of himself
Yeah,
is not real.
This is like Fight Club, where maybe it's Rob, that Anthony's just his alter ego.
That lives in Minnesota.
Yeah. But no, it's kind of hard for me to speak to a lot of the other groups because our tradition wasn't a high liturgical type tradition. But on the flip side, we also weren't like a lot of what you would consider Protestants, sola fide and stuff like that. There was a lot of similarities in the sense that, it wasn't faith alone. It wasn't, baptism is necessary. I was distracted. There's some people out there. Church.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Cameron and I can't remember that old guy, but he's the one that owned that tamale company that we.
Just remember that's on the line, so
With the
everyone knows that you forgot his name.
is it Bruno? Yeah, we're not talking about Bruno. Yeah. See, my wife is much better guess.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. She should be on here.
I've tried to get her to do a podcast for a while.
What are
but
any of
she-
us even doing here if she can't? If she's not?
I don't know.
If she's not on, what's even the point? Come on.
But anyway, what draws them to tradition?
Haley's pointing out the irony that Anthony is a quote unquote woman hater, but is promoting women.
Yeah, Anthony belongs in a little rascal. That's what he reminds me of. He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yes, but secretly, yeah. Exactly. He's a LARPer.
If I didn't love Anthony, I would hate him.
Okay. I don't know what to say to that.
That's usually the gist of my conversation. I silence people.
To just say that you hate them if you didn't like them. Wait, what?
If I didn't love Anthony, I would hate him.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Well, to be honest, if you didn't love anyone, wouldn't you hate them?
Not necessarily. You might just not like them.
Well,
But Anthony- Anthony
that's
is
different
beyond
than
that.
love, though.
Yeah, but
Love and like are different. So if you don't love them, you don't want the good for them.
well, if I don't love them, I could potentially like them. I just don't care if they do good or bad.
You're confusing like and love.
Okay, now the episode has changed. I know him too.
You just know everyone.
That's Taylor Green. Yeah, shit. Oh wait, I don't think you recognize me. No way.
This episode really doesn't have a
Topic.
a specific. I mean, it did at one point.
It did at one point, but I
But-
figured it was going to devolve into just a.
Well, that's why it's called Plot the Half Trad.
Yeah. I tell everybody Mark is the brains of our operation, and nobody believes me.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah, well, you did now that you met me.
No, but I believe that a while ago.
Yeah,
That's not a shocker.
I can't hurt my feelings,
Aw.
but I'll get over it.
Yeah,
Luckily, my feelings regenerate at twice the speed of a regular man.
you're the Wolverine.
No, it's from The Office.
Oh, wait, who said that?
Dwight.
Okay. It's been a while since I've watched The Office.
Yeah, well,
I'm not
Anthony and
Anthony-
Rob are huge fans of The Office.
yeah, it's huge
Huge
fans,
fans.
totally fans. They should type in the chat if they're watching. Well, Rob's watching. I know Anthony is. How much they love The Office.
This is the greatest episode ever. That's what Anthony just said.
Is he drinking?
He's at work, so I hope so.
It's what day is it? Saturday.
It is Saturday.
He's working.
Yeah, I think he said the text. He was headed to work.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
And everyone driving.
Yeah, well, he did have a wreck recently, so
Yeah. So
it is pretty dangerous. As much as he also bashed women's drivers, he's over here running into people. My wife hasn't run anybody in years. Well, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger too because
You're next to me.
yeah, the fury. Yeah. But yeah. So what's next?
What time does the symposium start? 9, right?
9. We should probably talk to just for 10 more minutes.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to, because I know I saw a schedule at some point, but I cannot
There's a schedule.
find it. Yeah, I saw a schedule somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it again. I kind of,
Do you feel underdressed?
no, but now I do.
I just see everyone with suit coat, like
What's funny is we were looking at pictures of previous years that they have on the website, and Chris was like, "Oh, see, everybody's not dressed to feel not, super nice and fancy. They're just kept more casual." And then I see everybody walking in with suits and bow ties and bolos, and mustaches all like curled up, and
mustache.
yeah.
A mustache is part of dressed up.
Well, it can't be if you curl the ends.
Okay. Fine. If you say so. Anthony thinks this is gold.
It is.
Is he on his
I
wait?
bet you he's probably regretting he didn't come so he could be part of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rob is the real reason he didn't come.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if Rob was able to make it, then you guys probably wouldn't have gone to student role.
No, I'm not naive to think that he was really Rob he was going to meet. I mean, we were just
Okay.
nice side
Side pieces.
shows. Yeah, side pieces. So
We all know the priorities in this friend group.
yeah.
We know where loyalties lie.
Anthony kept saying he was going to come up, hug me, and lift me, and do all that. He never did that, but he did it to Rob.
Oh,
I didn't witness.
How
it,
do you
obviously.
feel about that?
Well, that's another episode.
That's I need a psychologist to come on, and we can have next. Actually, when all of us if there's time when all of us get together, we should have a psychiatrist. Maybe we can get Jordan Peterson to come on
Actually-
and just all he does is determine our psychological problems on air and our friend group problems.
That could actually be very dangerous Because we may hear a lot of things about ourselves we don't want to hear.
Well, that's kind of the point. Wouldn't that be that's the entertainment part? Come on.
Yeah, for other people, but then I may have effects from it for years to come.
And
I-
are we worried about your mental health or trying to get views?
Yeah, it's not, well, you know what, you're right, you know what, let's get the views, I ain't worried about it.
We're not trying to care about.
Anthony did kiss me, yes, that is actually true.
That's unfortunate for you.
I got pictures of it, and
I know, I saw.
he did it the first time and we didn't get a picture, so I was like, hey, let's reenact this.
Oh, why?
So
That's a terrible idea.
The picture is not the original kiss. Just so you know.
Okay. That's something to know.
All this shows needs a hand dryer flushing sound. Oh, man.
But Anthony loves it. If Anthony loves it, it must be great.
He's like Roger Ebert. If he likes it, it's good.
Actually, I think if he likes it, nobody will like it. Because the last time I had him on, it only got like 70 views.
Well, since you told me that, he's always complaining I haven't invited him on the show. Well, maybe that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah, because of the views. You want actual views.
Views.
Yeah, and obviously Anthony doesn't bring in the views.
And
you got, when you were on last time solo, like this isn't the first time you're on solo. The last time, you got I think you got more than double what Anthony got.
You know what though? But somehow this show has evolved into talking about Anthony.
Well, doesn't everything devolve into Anthony? He's the center of attention.
He is.
Even on other shows, without him on, he can become the center of attention. I'm scared because he's going to be hosting Plotlines on Monday.
Oh yeah, he's gonna interview.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's going to look like.
Get ready to get interrupted a lot.
Well, at least I can mute him.
You do have the controls.
I do have
Mute the host.
Well, it's not like that. It's not, well, though you can make someone like the head of a Zoom meeting.
I love what it shows disorganized.
Indeed. But so what actually brought us here, right? Blessed Charles.
Yeah.
What brought you to interest in Blessed Charles? Or is it just me that you came?
Okay, so originally, I never heard about Blessed Charles until I met Trevor, online, and we did an episode with him and stuff like that.
Yeah, he walked by and we talked for a bit, but I just realized that was the first time you saw each other.
Yeah.
And it was like,
We were cracking the whip.
I know. I am cracking the whip.
So that's when I first heard about him, and I started learning about him, and then we saw this symposium, and I thought it would be interesting to go. And then, to be honest, because I'd gone the past 2 weekends, I was actually kind of debating if I wanted to come. And
so you were like Mark.
I was like Mark, but then you're gonna like this part. I said, you know what, I need to go meet Connor. So you were ask Chris, you were the driving force on me ultimately saying, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just go.
That's funny, just because literally everyone was on board at one point.
Yeah.
In going. Literally everyone was going. Even Angela was going at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't last that long.
Well, concupiscence.
Is that her new nickname? Could that just be her nickname?
That should be her nickname.
Yeah.
Integrated with concupiscence.
Integrated with integrating concupiscence.
Yeah, integrating concupiscence.
That's a terrible show.
But yeah, it all started out with everybody coming, that kind of drop. But yeah, I mean, I've been looking forward to this just to learn more and go to one of these conferences. But like I said, I was kind of tired of traveling the past, because I was in Mexico a couple weeks ago. I was in Ohio last week, and I was contemplating not coming, but then I was like, well, Connor, if you hadn't come, I probably wouldn't have come, just out of sheer tired of traveling.
I'm incredibly tired.
But I'm actually glad I'm here now. I'm here, I've met you now in person, and then I'm looking forward to the speakers and all that.
And plus, once we're done with this podcast, then we can really meet, because because before a podcast I'm stressed.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, Anthony said I was nervous, so.
Well, you're nervous, I'm stressed.
Well, it's kind of different doing a live where people are just walking by. Yeah.
Integrating concupiscence would be the greatest episode. Maybe I should name when I have Angela on the show, I'll
Yes.
name it integrated with integrated.
Just don't let her see this live first. Don't let her see this first.
I wonder. I thought she'd be watching.
You know, usually when I podcast, I'm sitting in a room by myself
Uh-huh.
with the door shut, no kids. It's not nervous, but yeah, no people coming by, walking and seeing famous people.
Oh, that doesn't.
We saw Trevor, famous person. We saw Eric Sammons walk by, famous.
That did not make me. That doesn't make me angry.
Well, you met him last night.
That's true. I met him last
Actually, I wasn't nervous when they walked by. It was just the randos walking by. They was nervous.
night. That's more nerve wracking than the
because
people you
because
know.
I'm like, I know they're judging me.
They well, like, I mean, with all the, I don't actually think we should use famous people to call them famous people, but just like YouTube affiliated people
Yeah.
know what a podcast looks like, and they empathize, I assume.
Yeah, that or they're judging as well. I would not do it that way. You know,
Well, I wouldn't do it this way either, but I'm doing it
I
this
mean,
way.
you're adaptable. Look at them.
Exactly. True.
I mean, your camera's not picking up the green on these suits either.
That's good. That's actually the best part. There's this ugly. We're sitting on ugly green. It's terrible. It's an eyesore. But you don't have to see it. So be grateful for that. We're saving you, saving lives from ugly green.
At least your eyes.
Huh?
At least their eyes.
They are eyes.
No, at least their eyes. Sorry, I mumble a lot, especially in the morning.
No, you just have the accent.
I don't have an accent.
Oh, that's true. You don't have an accent. No, you don't have an accent.
Mac wants you to do a cross stitching episode.
Maybe with Darren, that I'll start stealing Angela's ideas.
You should. You know what? Eric Sammons just walked by. We're gonna go over there. He's gonna be recording with somebody. Watch.
No, I'm interviewing him later today.
He's gonna steal your idea.
To interview me? Yeah, we actually joked about that last night.
Oh, did you?
I said, he asked me what podcast do I need to do next, and I said, well, I'm interviewing you, so I guess you have to interview me on your podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna go around the corner. He's gonna pick a better looking
Yeah.
green, but do the same thing we're doing. Then he's gonna ask you to be on.
Well, no, he won't ask me to be on, but he'll have to have someone who's the equivalent of you, or you. He'll just ask you
I was
on.
gonna say you can't find the equivalent of this. What are you talking about?
Maybe Mark is secretly here,
Yes,
and he's actually doing a podcast with Eric Sammons.
if Mark is secretly here, we're gonna fight.
I bet. But like, and it's gonna be called Crisis with Half Trad Men.
That would be.
It's gonna be the other half.
Don say. He just talks funny.
He said ha. Or no, that's Mac. Mac said ha. Mac and Don always always watching. Always watching. Is Anthony still is
Yeah, he
Anthony
just-
still listening? What did he say? I can't see things anymore. Oh, he's FOMO.
You know what? I need to quit leaning over because it shows my gut. Like it's just really pushing up into my chin when I lean over.
Literally the dumbest podcast ever. It's great.
You know, these are the type of podcasts that get all the views. Okay, so you know what my highest.
Well, we'll see.
You know
We
what
don't
Mark?
know that.
You know what Mark and me's highest viewed podcast is?
The Avoiding Babylon one.
Yeah, we had like over 1,000 something views.
Yeah, but weren't they all hating on it? Wasn't it like
There was a
hate-watching?
couple. Yeah, we were told we were fat trad men on one comment.
Well, how many people liked it? Because that's really
I don't care about that. We're gonna do this.
your focus is in the wrong area.
No, I just want the views.
You need likes. Likes is what means people actually want to come back.
Well, they did come back because in the next episode I had like 700.
Yeah. How many people didn't come back? 500.
Yeah, but they were the haters.
There were 500 haters.
Probably might
That's
have even been more. Who
that's
knows?
concerning. That's
So-
that's not good.
Views are views, Don.
You're okay with hate views?
All even negative views are publicity.
Bad publicity is good, or
Yeah, that's it. Bad
Or-
publicity is good.
no.
How does it go?
even any publicity is good.
Yes, there you
So
go.
even bad
There you go.
publicity is good.
You know what? Let's just hand it over to your mom and my wife, and we'll let them just do this because they have all the answers.
They could be, that would be an interesting show, just the two of them. I don't know what they talk about, but they at least know what we don't know.
Oh, there's integrated computers.
Oh, you guys. Remember, they're getting a little later, so it's not.
Well, that's why I had to repeat it.
They're still. She's still gonna get it. She's still gonna hear it. It's just gonna be later for her than it is for us.
That's true.
And we're
But I don't know
talking.
when she got on.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't explain this to you.
It would be more organized.
What would be more organized? Integrated with concupiscence?
Well, yeah, definitely more organized.
Yeah, I guess.
But I did ask you last night what you want to talk about. You had a topic idea, but I kind of figured it was just going to devolve into
Yeah, and you figured it right.
just talking and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think because in a sense we haven't gotten to do that in person, that we just have to do that, together online. Apparently,
Yeah, well,
most people do that offline together.
sometimes these are the most fun episodes to do as well. Anyway,
Well, it's definitely fun to do. I don't know if it's fun to watch.
oh, it's definitely fun to watch. Believe me.
We're just being idiots. That's the key.
Have you seen the YouTube people that are making all the YouTube money? They're not the smartest people, and don't.
Who are
Okay,
you
so
shading right now.
no,
Just
just
you throwing shade.
just
at?
YouTube in general.
You're talking about non-Catholic.
Yeah, just YouTube in general. Have you seen the ones
You're
that are
not-
making millions and all they do is buy like things that make noise and crunch them up and that's all they do?
That's sophisticated. That's
Well,
incredibly sophisticated.
okay,
I don't know what you're
well,
talking
now I'm gonna say you don't know what sophisticated means.
Indeed.
Stay in Texas a little bit longer, you'll learn sophistication.
I thought I'd learn how to talk like a hillbilly.
You can, that's part of sophistication.
I don't think you know what sophistication is either. I think we're both plot squiggles. That's what Haley says. This episode is plot squiggles instead of plot lines. Plot squiggles. That's what the show should be called. That's great. Yeah. Struggle. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that. Anyway. Most plotless plot line of all time. That's Hollywood movies. Hollywood movies are plotless. They barely have plot these days. They're just show you the alphabet people, and you'll like it.
Well,
Or if you don't like it, you're evil.
yeah, they definitely integrate them. Oh, by the way, sorry.
They're integrated.
Butterfly.
Oh no!
We were watching.
Did you see someone you knew?
No, not this time. I don't know those guys. They don't look cool enough to hang out with me. We were watching The Hobbit last night at the hotel room.
Wait, why were you watching The Hobbit? That's a terrible movie.
Okay. I like The Hobbit. So
What?
one.
It's chaos.
So anyway,
Anyway,
Chris had noticed something on The Hobbit last night. She's like, these orcs are light skinned. And I was like, Connor said that they're supposed to be darker. The
which
orcs.
ones?
I don't know, the orcs on The Hobbit.
What? Well, they're more like different colors. They're not like white. I can't. Oh, okay. So there are pale orcs, but they're rare.
Well, they weren't in The Hobbit.
Well, there's one. Well, well, they weren't supposed to be there anyways because that was a character. You need to read. Have you read The Hobbit?
Yeah, I've read The Hobbit.
Okay,
We're reading it right now to our kids at night.
Okay, so at least you read it, so you should know what
I don't-
should
I
be
don't- I
there,
don't
what's
pay
not.
attention to the details like that.
Trevor, do you want to move in?
Yeah, sure.
Rescue our podcast.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Wait.
So
I can't tell if
we've
you're-
been talking about famous people we met. And we said Trevor's the first famous person we met.
I don't have that many people to meet at this point. I mean,
Yeah, he was throwing around his weight saying, "Oh, I've already met him all last night." That's right. And I was like,
well, there's a few.
not for Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason's
last
the big wig to meet today. But yeah, Trevor, welcome to Plot Squiggles. That's what Haley has called this episode.
Oh, great.
Plotlines, plot squiggles.
We need Haley to give her creative feedback. We need a good name.
She's very excited that you're here.
Oh, hello, Haley.
Yes. Angela's also very happy to see you.
Oh, great.
She says hi.
So Haley said, hi, Tridentton Brewery.
I prefer Trident. I
Trident.
know you don't.
Listen,
I say it the wrong way.
You say it. You say it's
to be
the.
corrected by all.
You say it the
priests.
rural Illinois way.
Well, I say it the British way. I think.
how do you say it?
Tridentine.
That's what you said.
I know you said it the wrong way
It's his
too.
company. I'm saying how he says
It's not a company yet.
Yeah.
It's about to be.
You don't know that.
So anyway, I was gonna ask
The
you,
weather's fine.
when people see you, do they come up to you sometimes and say, oh, you're the Tridentine or how do you say it?
Trident.
It doesn't matter. That's his
'Cause-
business. He says it right.
Trent. Trident.
Yeah.
So, do people ever just do that? Or?
You know what? Sometimes it's pretty rare that people recognize me, but as soon as I introduce myself and if I'm in a trad crowd, as soon as I introduce myself and I say, oh yeah, I do this as a hobby, the brewery, the most people are like, oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh
So
yeah.
most people have heard about it, it seems. But people don't know me, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Did you talk or Angela accidentally called you yesterday? Did you see that?
Oh, I did, yes. I did see it.
She's pointing that out in the chat. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, we had a funny text back and forth. So
Wonderful.
I was saying, so Angela got a good kick out of it, so I might as well.
I just realized
say
I just
it.
realized when you got on, more people joined.
That's true.
Oh,
I don't know how that works. I don't know how they
I
knew.
was sitting on the back call. But it's funny because
We should have grabbed Eric.
Yeah.
and then the views would have just.
yeah.
Don't worry, he'll get all the views and the copies of your show in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube will be on at that.
Yeah.
So at least you guys will get exposure that way. So I mean, Rob's still waiting for his invite to talk about the Prime Minister of Italy,
Oh.
and just all the Midwesterners are waiting for their call for. And you're probably waiting for your Texas interview too. Remember we
From
did.
who? Oh,
because we
yeah.
did the regional podcast, and he's got to
Well,
copy that at some point.
I think Luis carried that episode though.
The what?
Luis?
He carried that episode? For a second, I thought you said scary that episode.
No, carried it.
He scaried it. He made everyone scared.
He was pretty good on the history aspect.
Well, yeah, because Luis is great, and all of us are
And
terrible.
you're not. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to spell it out
Yeah.
Thank you.
because, yeah. Wait, is it? Why didn't you go see Matt Brad?
Why did? Because my wife would have killed me, probably. Because
Because-
she's at home with kids right now for this. So this is like, 6 months in advance
Yeah.
type of a thing,
Well,
kind of planned it out.
Everyone, we were just discussing how everyone was originally going to this.
Well, everyone was
and then
going to this, and then everyone went to the other one. and
Yeah,
was
I know,
like,
I was
"Why are
like-
you going to that one?" I was like, this event is like a week after the Brad
it's
event.
because-
What do you mean?
It's just because Rob couldn't go. It's all Rob.
Yeah.
Or-
Angela said she was going to go. Rob said he was going to go.
Let's
No
guilt
one
everyone.
showed up.
Mark didn't even show.
Yeah. Well,
From
no, you guys
Texas.
showed up. So that's
Yeah, I
not
know, but
my-
Mark didn't show up, and he's in Texas. So
He's made it very clear out of the Tradman, he would prefer Mark over me. Which I don't blame him, but
I have no
Yeah.
preferences. I'm like a parent.
well, parents have preferences.
Remember, I'm the most.
Depends on your mood that day and how the kids are acting. You have preferences.
Yeah.
I remember we declared that I'm the most mature of the group, if you recall.
They mature in terms of not getting into Twitter battles or something like that.
That's true.
So-
Quite immature, Trevor.
Yeah.
That's why you're the most immature.
No, actually,
Yeah.
Trevor
And the
doesn't.
most followers.
Trevor doesn't.
Wait, yeah. Do you have like 5,000? Is it
That's more than 4,000.
4,000? Gotcha.
Princess Maria.
Oh,
Princess Maria.
Okay.
I've seen a picture.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Now I think we made ourselves look terrible.
She's gonna ask you if I'm gonna speak after she. use this episode. She's like, hey, come up here and give a talk, Connor.
Why would
Yeah.
she be watching? She's walking. She's not watching the episode.
She's taking notes. She's like, what's his name?
Yeah. Oh, Haley always prefers the baby.
The baby,
Her baby.
her baby.
Yeah. Her kids know that.
Oh, that's okay. You know,
This is just like Bishop Schneider's over there.
oh, nice. Call him on over. I'll get up. You can have him on.
He was on one of our episodes.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah, he
Sort
invited
of.
me to Kazakhstan next summer. Man.
Yeah, so go get him on my podcast with Eric Sammons. You can join too if you want them.
Yeah, I'll just let him
Only
take
if you-
over.
only if you get him on the show. You're not invited.
Yeah.
You're not invited on the episode with Eric unless you get.
You're excommunicated from the show.
No, the next show.
I'm just saying in general.
You're excommunicating me, or I'm
No,
excommunicating
you're
you?
doing me if I don't get your bishop's name.
No, I would never
Do,
excommunicate you.
do you know how we actually came across? It's actually a funny story.
How come across?
We did getting an interview with Bishop Snyder. We actually didn't reach out to him.
You
So
can't even say that word correctly.
What?
Schneider.
okay, I don't know what to say to that. So
That's okay. You've said multiple things where I don't know what to say to your
That's fine.
responses. So there you go. I stumped you. for once.
But I think Mark had reached out to Sophia Press about Dr. K in one of his books. And then the publicist asked Sophia Press, hey, would you, yeah, I could set this up. Would you also maybe be interested in interviewing Bishop Schneider?
Nice.
And,
Oh, good
and,
job.
and a few other people, and we're like, yeah, I guess. I think that'll be a good interview. No, but Mark sent it to me, and we're like, yes. I mean, you could have set this up without even asking us. But yeah, so she actually
Okay.
offered, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. So we
Okay, let's
did it.
wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll check you later. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And prepare for really awesome content coming up in the next couple weeks. Surprises beyond surprises. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.